Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Lotus Lounge. It's September 21st, 2023. Who would have thought it would be September already? Which is great in Arizona because it's getting cooler. So I'm Chad. This is Kit Kat. She's Carrie Berardinelli. I guess Kit Kat's going to help host today, or he's decided if that's okay with you, Carrie. But anyway, this week we're going to look at redefining beauty through hormonal balance. And, Carrie had a great post leading to this on Facebook saying, would you agree that we live in a society and environment that promotes hormonal imbalances? And what can we do naturally to support our hormones and thus look and feel amazing? So we're going to offer 3 tips coming up here. So anyway, but just to preface a little bit, so we hear a lot of talk about hormones and keeping hormones balanced. It's something if you haven't heard much about it, you're going to probably hear more about it coming up. So it is important because hormones and metabolic health are tightly linked. And when you're having a metabolic crisis, I think Kit's having one, in your body, it can lead to weight gain, mood swings, nutritional deficiencies, low resistance to stress, blood sugar issues, oxidative stress, which we talk about quite a bit, premature aging, and of course, it can all lead to skin issues as well. Dry skin, skin rashes, acne, collagen degradation and thinning skin, hyperpigmentation, redness, eczema, psoriasis, etc. And the list goes on and on and on. And so the modern lifestyle can set us up for this. And Carrie's going to touch on, while I pay attention to Kit Kat, Carrie's going to touch on what are some of these things due to.
Yeah, right. So some of these things are due to just the effects of modern living. And number one, we live in a very stressful, fast-paced, hectic society where there are schedules and deadlines. And this creates a lot of stress because many times we're balancing our work deadlines with our family deadlines. And this just does such havoc on the body. And this really leads into the fact that a lot of us have impaired circadian rhythms, which affects sleep. So then you have poor sleep habits. And then, of course, poor diet. Diet is always key. Exposure to toxins, which are ubiquitous in our environment. They're just everywhere. We cannot avoid them, but we can reduce them with lifestyle choices. Leading a sedentary life, lack of exercise, or muscle tone. When you don't use it, you lose it. Right, Kit Kat? And last but not least, and I'm sure there's many other factors here that I didn't mention, but we are on a daily basis exposed to EMFs. A lot of us sit at our computers all day, every day.
Yeah, electromagnetic frequencies, yeah.
And those frequencies that radiate from the computer, they hit our skin, and it is associated with, premature and accelerated skin aging. So these are some of the factors that create hormonal imbalances in our system. And then, of course, the natural ebb and flow of aging.
Yeah. Which is inevitable. It's going to happen. And so, just real quick, you mentioned exposure to toxins. And one of the key things we look at here is our skincare products, because, that's one of the things we're focused on, so making sure they're as clean as possible. So there's less degradation to the skin barrier. And then we mentioned EMF exposure to electromagnetic frequencies. Most people have heard of that, but like you mentioned, the computer, it's all around us: radio waves, television signals, cellular. So we're exposed to a lot more in the modern society than we were 50, 100, 200 years ago. So it's So it's something modern society we have to deal with, overcome, and such. So anyway, just touching on those clarifications quick. So there are some things what we mentioned. We're going to touch on 3 tips, 3 lifestyle changes that you're going to go over to help people understand what we can do to support hormones. And what are those, our resident expert?
Well, number 1 is consuming a clean whole foods diet. So a westernized SAD diet is not the way to go if you want to achieve hormone balance. It is consuming a clean whole foods diet. This, what does this consist of? Well, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, lean, organic, pasture-raised proteins, animal proteins, and of course, healthy fats. So this is what consists of a healthy diet. And you hear a lot about going to the grocery store, shop the perimeter of the store, because a lot of the middle aisles, not everything, but a lot of the middle aisles contain most of your processed foods. And we can't forget the freezer section. A lot there too.
With the added sugars and which is, yeah.
Yes. And so much of those foods are refined, full of sugar and additives that just throw our bodies out of whack. Number 2 is very specific, and that is consuming leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and your allium vegetables, which is garlic and onions. And these vegetables support detoxification. And we need detoxification on a daily basis. We need support with detoxification so that we're breaking down excess hormones like estrogens in our system, and we're able to keep balanced hormones.
Gotcha.
And I don't know, because you and I, Chad, I mean, not to toot our own horns, I'm not, but a lot of people do not eat a lot of these type of foods.
Yeah.
And it's like a slow process getting people to eat these types of foods, like your kale and your collard greens, different lettuce varieties. So dinners constituting of a lot of salad. Did you have a comment?
Well, I mean, we've talked about it before. I mean, obviously, there can be a lot of crossover with the different topics we do, and that's important for people to understand, because there really is. But when it comes to like the diet and the such, most people don't get enough vegetables, particularly fruits. You don't have to make a difference. Just, it's not like you need to eat a salad every meal. Just improve your diet. Take steps, make one meal better a week, make another meal better a week. Just do what you can to make steps, and the progress will build, and one day you'll realize all of a sudden, wow, I look and feel better. My body's acting better. So anyway, yeah, go ahead.
One thing that we recommend a lot to our clients, and we talk a lot about it on on our videos, is our NRF2 activator through Protandim. And this is a way to initiate and open up those detox pathways through the power of nutrigenomics, which is nutrition that actually manipulates gene expression. And this particular one is a NRF2 activator. It activates your body's own production of antioxidant enzymes such as superoxide dismutase, catalase, and glutathione in order for your body to more efficiently detoxify. And when you combine this hand in hand with a real diet, you can get absolutely great results.
Well, the key thing to point out with that is that helps your body produce, when you consume foods that are antioxidants, it's on a 1-to-1 ratio. With the Nurse2 Protandim, it's 1,000,000 to 1. It really allows your body to emphatically and drastically improve antioxidant production. And so it's a big step up. It's a big step up. So
absolutely. And one last thing about diet when you're looking to balance your hormones is to really try to minimize caffeine and alcohol in your diet. Both can wreak havoc on stress hormones and disrupt the microbiome of the gut. So, not that we're saying not to drink these things.
Just don't overdo it.
Yeah, in moderation is very much key.
Yep. Okay. So that's the first thing we touched on was the clean diet, whole foods, and such, improving your diet. So what's the second?
The second is honoring your circadian rhythm. And the circadian rhythm is basically your hormone and energy cycles from the time you get up, from the time you go to bed.
So when the sun's up to the sun's down.
Correct. So this is flowing with nature and the natural rhythm of the day. Getting up when the sun rises, winding down, settling down when the sun sets. And you can apply this to eating and structuring how you eat, when you eat. So first, I'll talk about eating, when to eat. We hear a lot about intermittent fasting. And basically, the foundational approach to intermittent fasting is like a 14-10 ratio, where you're fasting throughout the night for 14 hours and you're eating for 10. Or you're fasting for 18 hours and you're eating for 6. And this is in order for your body to start using ketones as fuel. So it puts you in a state of ketosis. You hear a lot about the keto diet. But intermittent fasting has been shown to greatly support hormonal balance, greatly reset metabolism. Very, very effective for this. And it goes according to those circadian rhythms that we want to support. So if you're doing a 14-10 ratio, typically you'll be done eating, and there's different ways to do this. But like for you and I, we like to be done eating by 6:30. And the sun sets around 7:30, and we don't eat anything else until bedtime up until the next day. So and when the sun rises, what do, Chad? A lot of times we go outside and we let the sun's rays hit our skin and our eyes, and this also resets that clock. So you're getting tired when you're supposed to be getting tired. And a lot of times for us lately, it's like we are sleeping by 9:30. That is how effective these lifestyle changes are. And one thing I want to mention is our supplements, our multivitamin formulas are formulated in support of circadian rhythms. So you have our daily AM, which is formulated for energy, which you need energy throughout the day. So you're going to find your B vitamins and vitamin D in the morning formula. And then your nighttime formula is more about winding down, resting. So you're going to have those nutrients, minerals like magnesium and calcium that help to bring the body in a more relaxed state. And there's also adaptogenic herbs in here. I'm pretty sure passion flower is
Mhm.
one of them, which is a great herb for relaxation. So just to give you an example, there's herbs and there's nutrients in these formulas, so they're really effective.
Yeah. Well, they're designed for being optimized what you need for the day and optimized for the night. And there's a reason they had this terrific research that we saw and presentations that really went through it. These were designed incredibly thoughtfully and scientifically, and it's just with impeccable research and work, and it's really impressive stuff. So,
Right.
okay, so Kit Kat is ready
For number 3,
for number 3. What's the third and final tip?
the third and final tip is to reduce toxic exposure. And we talked about this. Number 1 is in your skin and hygiene products. Many synthetic ingredients that is mass produced on the market are full of hormone disruptors, known hormone disruptors, right, Kit Kat? Kit Kat knows all about this. And then also looking at your approach to anti-aging. Botox and fillers, I would do research on that and think again.
Yeah.
And we can't get into that in this video, but I highly encourage each and every one of you to do your research. Next thing is switching to non-toxic household cleaners. So this is another area where we are exposed to a lot of different environmental toxins, breathing them in. And many of these ingredients are so heavily fragranced. We've talked about fragrances before, that in the word fragrance, there can be like 100 different ingredients. And, not only endocrine disruptive, but also carcinogenic, showing mutations in the cell. So, we have to be really mindful and careful about what we are applying to our environment and our skin.
Yeah. Well, and over time, we're learning there can be a cumulative buildup, cumulative effect over time.
Yes, they call it chronic toxicity. As opposed to acute toxicity would be like, you
fell into a nuclear reactor.
Yeah, it's all about dosage, right? So the argument is, the dosages are so low that it's not harmful. Well, low dosages, if you're using it all the time, do accumulate. So resulting in chronic toxicity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so those are our 3 points.
3 points. 3 tips. There are others.
There's more, but these are the ones we're focusing on.
These are the ones we're focusing on because they really are foundational and they really are extremely supportive if you implement them.
Yeah. So just the fast recap for folks, we talked 1 about consuming a clean, whole food diet as much as possible. 2, honor your circadian rhythms, which is basically sun up to sundown. And then we just finished wrapping up the reducing toxic exposure. We're going to be exposed to stuff no matter what, but we can have some control. We can exercise a little better control and caution ourselves. So, so when it comes to, to conclude for folks, when it comes to this, many people jump right into hormone therapy, including doing bioidenticals and such things before they think about just making some lifestyle modifications. Sometimes there's not that much to do, but it's important to make some healthy changes first to see if your hormones will naturally begin to balance more on their own. And many, many times they will. It'll save you money. It'll save you stress. But think about it, it'll save you money. And that's a big thing. It's an investment in yourself. Everything that we use does have a price tag, but it's also an investment in ourselves, and it can save a lot of money in the long run when it comes to your health. Be proactive. So then, Carrie, I'm going to let you wrap up. You after your lovely presentation here in Oh, we got the tongue out.
Yeah, so I would love to hear your thoughts around this topic. If you could leave a comment below, we would love to hear your thoughts about hormone balance. And just to piggyback a little bit with what Chad said about bioidentical hormones, when you really think about it logically, if you jump right into bioidenticals and you've done nothing else
Mm-hmm.
balance your body, and you really think about that, what is it really doing?
Well,
It seems to be fighting against
yeah.
many factors. And if you had to go to that level of
Mm-hmm.
balance where you really needed bioidentical hormone therapy and all these other lifestyle modifications, choices are in place, you're going to get way better results from
Mm-hmm.
that therapy. I just wanted to make it that
Yeah.
note.
But if you jump straight into it too, it's almost like back in during the Civil War when, amputation was the first thing. Somebody was really injured, and it was horrific. And then better practices in medicine and came along, and you don't need the drastic thing right off the step.
I love that analogy.
Hey, history pays off sometimes.
History pays off. Yes. Okay, so yeah, leave us a comment. And if you want to get in touch with us, email us at evolveyourself@lotusevolutions.com. You can check out our website, and please keep checking because at some point it's going to be a remodeled, restructured website at lotusevolutions.com. And then just come see us, schedule an appointment. We'd love to work with you on all your holistic skincare needs as well as overall well-being. And we can't forget our beautiful skincare line. Please keep on the lookout for additional products that will be coming out.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
It's called Kit Kat approved.
Yeah. Kit Kat approved.
Okay. Well, I think that's it for this week. So thank you everybody for listening in, whether it was live or you watched the replay of this week's Lotus Lounge. So we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Goodbye, Kit Kat.